Alright, so I got a friend who shared with me a video a while ago. So I'm gonna comment on this video. I'm gonna leave the link to the description section of this video. And basically, this is the title of the video. It says, "This is just crazy. Hundreds of people in Japan have a festival dedicated to worshipping penises." So I saw the video, and there are people in Japan that are actually worshipping the penises. It's not a joke. Like, they kind of do it to promote fertility, something like that. Now, I read some of the comments on the video, and yeah, there's a lot of people that think these people are crazy for doing that and all of this stuff, right? But I also see some parallels with what we're doing here in America as well. I think Japan, in my opinion, they do a lot of extreme things. Like, they're known, based on past history, from what I know, to take everything to the like, not everything, but they take a lot of things to the extreme. You know, like, basically they always go like over the top with things to the point where you're like, man, it's almost like they're doing things purposefully to get attention. It seems like, you know, like they'll just do something crazy and stupid. Like, I heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but they'll have like competitions where, televised competitions to see like who could squirt their sperm the farthest or something like that. You know, or, you know, they're known, you know, for like the sex doll industry, and they're known for like, for a fact I know for sure that they're known for like cartoonish pornography type things, where they got cartoons where it's just like hardcore pornographic stuff. And they're known to be also like taking video games to an extreme where like that's their entire life. I also saw a documentary where their population is just going lower and lower because there's just less and less real relationships, and a lot of these people are just having like very like fake relationships, and people are paying like women to just hug them and just lay in bed with women, just paying to have women just lay in bed with them. I mean, people think it's weird, but at the same time, you know, what's so weird about that compared to paying someone to have sex, you know? But, you know, they take a lot of things to an extreme, and I think what they do also is they see like the Chinese practicing martial arts back in the day, and, you know, the Chinese would practice it with more balance, more peace, but then they would have their own version of the Chinese martial arts and then turn it to very yang expression, where it's very hard and stiff with a lot of like violence, you know. They're known for the kamikaze as well, which is basically just like committing suicide, you know, like the suicide bomber type thing, you know. You know, they're known for what happened with Pearl Harbor, like actually having the balls to like bomb America and thinking that they're gonna, you know what I'm saying, try to bully America, and then America just goes ahead and throws 2 atom bombs into their country. And somebody left it in the comment section saying, you know, ever since they got those atom bombs, you know, that stuff in the air and them ingesting it, they just were never the same again or something. I don't know if there's some truth to that or not, you know, but it could potentially have effects towards their genetic growth, their hormonal and their brain growth, you know, for generations and generations. You know, you don't know. It could be in their system, and then they just, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they do a lot of things that are just like over the top, you know, and in a way I think they kind of, you know, when they do some stupid things, it just makes, it can make a bad reputation for all Asians, you know, just people that look like Asian, because typical people, they don't know the difference between a Japanese, a Chinese, a Korean, a Thai, a Filipino. They just lump them all in the same category as like the same damn people. You know, so if you got a Japanese, if people in Japan are doing some stupid ass stuff, then Americans could be looking at the Chinese and judging based on the stupid things that they're doing in Japan. You know, and things like that. So it just creates a bad reputation for everybody. You know, when a group of people that kind of look a little bit similar, they do stupid things, then it just makes everybody that look like them look stupid. You know, because a lot of people think in the very racial terms and stereotypical terms, and they don't understand that you're supposed to judge a person by, you know, individually, not like as a group, but people still judge people as groups. You know, that's why there's such a thing as racism, and that's why, you know, why blacks have such a hard time in America, because you got them portrayed in the media to be very violent and criminal, and then you got blacks that actually commit crimes and, you know, crimes in real life, and then, you know, people get trained, their psychology gets trained to think that all black people are violent, or all black people like rap music, or all black people are poor, or all black people are on welfare. I mean, they just have this type of mentality of judging people, and it goes with all races. And I think, you know, if enough people watch videos like this where they see Japanese people in Japan like worshiping penises, then people could start judging all Asians to be doing something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of creates a bad rep for everybody. And another example I bring up is like Virginia Tech. You know, the person that killed everybody was an Asian person, but he happened to be from Korea. So people could be like, oh, you know, Koreans are horrible people, which is a horrible statement, because it's just one person that did something stupid, and you shouldn't like punish an entire group of people from a certain country just because of what the actions of one stupid individual. You know, it's like Hitler being a dumbass, and then everybody just starts hating Germans because of Hitler. You know, it's just not right. You know, but people still tend to do that. They tend to be racist, and they tend to judge people based on how they look. So you see, like, oh, be like, you know, look at Virginia Tech, and then they start hating the Asians, including the Chinese, including the Japanese, and just everybody else. But the fact of the matter is, I just think that we're all just humans. But really, if we're gonna segregate, then, and you know, rather than saying Chinese and Japanese and Korean and Thai, then just call them, you know, they're all Asians, they're all the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I really see it pointless to separate Japan and China and Korea and Thailand. You know, to me, it's like separating different countries, or different states, but it's still America. You know, it's like trying to say, oh, you know, the people in California worship penises, so that's kind of like Japan, you know, but the whole is like Asia, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, you know, obviously I see stupidity in what they're doing, but at the same time, I think in America we do the same thing, but we just do it in a different way. Like, I feel that the woman, I won't really speak about the women that much, but I think the women worship money more than penises. You know, it's clearly the women worship money. You know, that's just a clear fact. I mean stereotypically, but like these prostitutes and these porn stars and these strippers, they're clearly worshiping the money. I mean, you're throwing money at them, and they're doing all these crazy things for the money. So they're worshiping paper. You know, and then these people in Japan are worshiping statues of penises. Alright? Men worship pussy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they love women. You know, like pussy, ass, titties, whatever. I mean, they worship that stuff. I mean, that's what they live for. You know, and that's one of the driving motivations for what they do in life. It's just, that's why they work, that's why they eat, that's why they sleep, that's why they exercise, that's why they live. A lot of men are just born to find good pussy, you know, and pussy is basically like saying, like, in more of a, you know, spiritual term of where you're leading towards something greater than it, you know, it leads towards love. You know, so lust should lead towards, it's supposed to lead towards love, but basically, men do that. You know, so these people are like bowing down to these penises, these penis statues. But the men, they're, you know, in America or all over the world are just like fixated on pornography. I mean, so many people watch that stuff. It's unbelievable. The billion-dollar industry, you know, people are all over the internet, all over the pornography, and it's a fact. You know what I mean? The numbers will tell you. I mean, you see how many people click on these videos. Millions of people clicking and watching all these videos, but they're just doing it in private. And we're basically worshiping the pussy every time we're watching pornography. We're just watching like these videos with sex and all that stuff. We're worshiping the pussy. You know, so these people criticizing these people for like worshiping the penises, they should really look at their own lives and see what they're worshiping. You know, more likely the men are worshiping the pussy, and then the women are worshiping the money. You know, that's how I see that what's going on. It's just that Japan's just more open and blunt about it. They're just doing it in public. But men would be embarrassed to be like, you know, watching porn in public and then jacking off the porn in public. They wouldn't do that. They just do it in privacy of their own home. But even no matter if they do it in the privacy of their own home or out in public, it's the same thing. They're still doing it. You know what I'm saying? And the women, it's just clear that they're worshiping the money over here in America. You know, so I don't really see anything that outrageous about what's going on, because it just kind of indicates, you know, the human problem, the human condition, and the problems that we see in Japan is the same problems that we have over here. You know, it's just that they're expressing it in just more of a blunt manner. You know, I mean, like people might criticize, like I just mentioned, you know, about Japan having those cartoon porns, and people might make fun of that, but at the same time, that's essentially what we're doing here. You know, it's just more sophisticated as far as like the Photoshop is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have an average looking woman, and then you'll Photoshop the woman to look like a supermodel, and then you jag off to the picture until you come. That's not too different than making a cartoon porn. You're just creating your own little fantasy. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that people might criticize about Japan or whatever out there in the East, you could kind of see that we got the same problems. It's just in a different form, you know. But Japan's known to take things to the extreme, and this is an example of how they would corrupt the martial arts. You know, so China, for example, with the balanced martial arts, with the yin yang, maybe something like Tai Chi or Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, or, you know, something that's more balanced in China, is representing like love. And then Japan would look at love and then turn it into lust. You know, and that's like them turning the expression of Kung Fu in China, or Wushu, them expressing it and turning it into what they call karate or jujitsu or ninjutsu or whatever the hell, jujitsu, whatever, su, okay? Japan is known to corrupt a lot of different things, you know, just put too much yang into it. And then America would even corrupt it even further, you know. So it would come from Kung Fu, you know, an expression of beauty in Kung Fu in China, to the corruption in Japan, which is what they would call maybe karate. And then it'll come to America and they'll corrupt it even further and call it MMA. So I see that there's a lot of Americans that I see that learn from Japan because they can relate to Japan, because Japan, you know, puts a lot of yang and corrupts China's expression very much, and then Americans would understand Japan more, or the Japanese more, because like basically America would be like the ultimate bully, you know, and then Japan would bully you know, China, and then America understands Japan because they're kind of speaking the same type of language, like this bullying behavior, but still they're both severely corrupting and misinterpreting and misunderstanding the teachings that are coming from China, which is more of a balanced teachings that integrate yin yang. It's not just yang, You know, so I think this video is kind of representing that type of corruption. You know, but it's just, you know, if you apply it to the martial arts, you see it. You know, like it's too hard. It's too rough. It's too violent. You know, like look at the samurai just like cutting their people's heads off. I mean, because of dishonor or disloyalty or whatever they want to say, and then like committing suicide by stabbing themselves in the stomach because they want to die honorably. It's just a bunch of nonsense to me. You know what I'm saying? Just over, just too much damn ego. You know, and they have no balance. You know, and it's showing with, this video about the worshipping penises. It's showing with the past history and what they did with the Pearl Harbor, and also with what they did to, China with the rape of Nanking. You see it in the movies, in a lot of the movies coming out of China, especially these martial art movies, the action movies. There's a lot of tension between China and Japan, and it's always usually about Japan bullying China. And then China has to rebel against that bullying. But this is just the information I'm getting from the outside. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I live in America. I was born in America, so I don't really give a damn about the tension between the Chinese and the Japanese. I mean, this is just observations from the outside. And just knowing what's going on. This is from what I see that's going on. But China's not freaking innocent. I hear a lot of things about them bullying other countries, or like bullying Tibet, or whatever the case may be. So there's bullies all over this world. They come in all different countries, all different races, and all different people. But I see that this is an example of an imbalance. That's occurring in Japan. And then if you look at it and you be like, man, this is some weird stuff, then you should look at your own life and look at what's going on in America, and think of double thinking as well, and see what's going on over here, whether or not it's something that's good. But it's clear to me that the men do worship the vagina. It's clear. And then the women are worshiping the money. And that's what I see. So that's my comment on that video.